Well, hello, my beautiful Taurians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career and money reading for the end of July right through to the end of August 2025. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I have brought back the Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound, okay? So let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Taurians, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome, but I don't know if you noticed with the Gaia chimes, it feels like something comes to a natural conclusion in the next 6 weeks. So this could be a project, or perhaps it's something you've been working on. Maybe you're ready to tie up loose ends on it and move on to the next thing, but it feels like, you know, a sense of accomplishment, like it's done. I did get an energy here of you being in a cycle repeat. That's what was coming out there. So it could be that you're maintaining and sustaining over the next coming weeks and months there. But let's get to your energy. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Great Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Taurians? What do they need to know regarding their career and money situation at this time? Can you please show them the way? So the first card there is the Lover's card. So yeah, so that can be that you're completing a cycle of something and then detaching from it, moving on. We do have the Magician energy there, which is basically, I would say in that position, it's more that you're in a period of review. You may feel that there's unfulfilled potential in some area, or you've been working really hard towards something and you haven't been quite seeing the results just yet. But that will take a turn as you move through August and beyond is what I'm seeing there. But let us get the rest of your cards. We have the Star. Yes, definitely a spotlight on something here for you, standing in the limelight in some way, being appreciated, but also inspired. Also, you've got the Justice card there as well. So this is a time for administrative tasks, staying on top of your bills, responsibilities, your sense of duty for your career. It can indicate balance, you know, basically staying on top of things, maintaining and sustaining, as I mentioned earlier there. So let us get the rest of your cards. I will show you each card individually just to highlight what is to occur for you over the coming weeks and months there. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Great Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Taurians? So the first card there is the Knight of Swords. So you're making some changes, you're making headway on something, you are focused on your sense of purpose, you are gathering momentum. I feel like, you know, there's a lot of pace. A lot of you, I'm picking up an image right now in the water because I'm scrying at the same time as doing your reading. I'm seeing a clock. So it can be that you're being more diligent with your time, you're owning your time, being disciplined, organized, of course. You're sorting a lot on your to-do list. And you're ticking it off there, I would say. But some of you may have like a deadline, or perhaps you're maybe challenging yourself to have something finished before a certain date. Well, I feel like you will complete it there. I also see a lot of structure going on for you, and structure works really well. We have the Seven of Swords there, desiring a little bit more independence in your working environment. Some of you could be working on something off-grid or behind the scenes there, being very private about what you're working on at this time. But I feel ultimately you want to follow your heart on something. Knight of Cups just came out there as I said that, following your heart on something. I definitely see you're following your passions, but I also see there may be a return to a project or something that perhaps you've been meaning to get round to. I see a little bit more focus on that coming out. Now this could be that you're filing something away, or you're completing something. It feels like you have something in motion. We've got the Ace of Cups, and we've also got the Two of Wands. Okay, so in the planning stages of something, keeping another thing in motion. That's what I'm feeling here. It's almost like, you have far-reaching energy over the next coming weeks and months. You're very productive. The Lover's card indicates you're looking at your options. This is a choice card, okay? It literally means choice. Back in the day, this card meant choice. So it could be that you're looking at the path that you're on right now, looking at your options when it comes to your career. And I do want to mention those of you who are currently looking for a job, okay? If you've been made redundant or you had to walk away from something, it was toxic, you may be wondering, are there any opportunities out there? Well, first off, I feel you are focusing on what it is that's a deal breaker when it comes to your working environment. I feel you're someone who pays attention to detail. You're very focused. You're very diligent. I also feel that you are someone who is trying to broaden your perspective at this time. So there may be things that you want to experience in a new working environment that perhaps you didn't have in the previous one. And I do see with this Ace of Cups something being offered to you. For some of you, you may actually return, because we have the Judgment energy, you may return to an industry or a way of working that you used to love, okay? Perhaps it's an energy of a certain sector or just a way of working. I definitely see here that you're going to enjoy what is coming in for you. Two of Wands, you may have to wait just after hearing that you get the job. I mean, there could be a couple of interviews here. A return interview is what I'm seeing, and you may have to meet someone who has the final say on you being hired, and I feel like you will sign a contract. I mean, the Justice card is to sign a contract, and you do have that Justice card energy there as well. So I feel it's important to recognize that you are the star person for this job, for this role. So have confidence in yourself. I feel like you've got skills that other people do not have, and this new role will really nourish you, okay? Now, for those of you who are very independent in working, maybe you have your own company, for example, whether you're a creative or whether you're like sole trader or work in a specific industry, I feel this energy of partnerships, connecting to things that help you work smoother, as it were. So this can be a partnership between a social media platform. It could be that you're promoting your work in some way, getting what you are doing right now out there and allowing it to be seen, because that star energy indicates that, you are stepping into the spotlight in some way. For some of you, if you are online, this could be that whatever it is you do goes viral, or it gets a little bit more attention as you move into August there, and the nature of your industry picks up pace a little bit more. But also it could be something you're contemplating. For some of you, you could be thinking about working on a project or setting something up online, because you have so many swords here. Swords are connected to the ether. This is also an air element. This is a Gemini card, so it can be that you're utilizing the internet in some way to do what you do. And this could be that you're launching a business, or you're managing a business, or maintaining what you're doing already. And it could be that you're partnering up with either a social media platform, a brand deal, or even some sort of investment opportunity, a co-alliance, as it were. But this is you looking at who you connect to. So even if you work in, a company, or you work for a company, or you have your own company, whatever it is, I feel like you're looking at business relationships at this time. The people you do business with, or the people you interact with day to day, because of course, this is all about relationships. And there could be someone right now, for some of you, not all of you, but for some of you, we've got that Knight of Swords and we've got the Seven of Swords here. So you you could be very vigilant at this time, keeping your eyes peeled on someone who's either not pulling their weight in the working environment, or perhaps you're keeping your eyes peeled on some changes. You know, especially if you're an independent worker, it could be that you are looking at legal structures, and the Seven of Swords there can indicate that perhaps there's something that you're not happy with at this time. It can be that you're trying to find information on something that is either changing in its nature, or it's like hidden information. So for example, if you're trying to structure a company or a legal entity, you may be wondering how is the best way to do it, and it's not readily available, all the information. So you may need an intermediary or an accountant or someone to help you or get some advice, because it feels very much like Seven of Swords, you don't want to like make a pitfall on something. You're thinking about the next steps of something, and you're gaining knowledge. You're broadening your perspective. You're researching something. I feel a lot of you are adapting or responding differently to your environment at this time, whatever it is you do. Like ultimately, you're looking at your options. And I would say for some of you with the Seven of Swords, I hate saying this, but you know, I gotta say it there, because if you are like working on something behind the scenes right now, or even contemplating something that, I don't want to say this, but Seven of Swords can be, you know, something not legal, okay? So I'm just going to put it there because you have the Justice card and the Star. This could indicate that, you know, you may get caught, because the outcome is to, you know, be caught and dealt with accordingly. So I can't imagine anyone out there is going to do anything like that, but because it just popped up, I had to mention it, okay? Ultimately, the Seven of Swords is a very misunderstood card. It can also mean that if you are trying to be very private at this time, I mean, this is a card of duality. So for example, if whatever it is you're doing right now, you know, it doesn't matter what industry it is, it can be that you may be thinking about doing something else on the side, moonlighting, for example, or setting up your own business on the side if you're in like a company that you work for right now, or it could be that you're trying to launch your own thing. Maybe you are doing like some work in one area in order to earn money to inform your dream or your goal. So please apply it to your situation. But I would say just be a little bit mindful of where you do your business. Or like if, for example, and I'm just going to give you an example, okay? If you are someone who is a musician, right? Your goal in life is to be a musician and give your whole heart and soul to your creative leadings and expressions, right? So you're going to be creating, you're going to be doing all of that, but also you got to be booking gigs, you got to be, you know, thinking about your business head and thinking about all those things. But on the side, you may be doing like alternative work to support yourself financially until the next big gig. You know, it can be that you're building something right now, and it could be that perhaps you're doing, you know, the job that pays you money right now, the bills. Say, for example, you're working in a bar, right? Let's just put it like that. But you've also got to do the other thing. So it can be that whilst you got some downtime, you may be trying to do the other thing, the thing that you really care about, because the Lover's card is there. So please apply it to your situation. It's going to be different for everybody. If you're doing two things, because this is a duality card, just be a little bit mindful. Someone could be watching, okay? And if, you know, you're trying to do something quietly, or if you're trying to work on something, just when there's a bit of a lull, that's okay, you know, as long as you've completed your tasks and responsibilities. But there could be someone who's going to try and catch you out or reveal. And if you have like an idea that like you are really excited about right now, and you're in an industry where you mingle with a lot of like-minded individuals, just be a little bit mindful of your ideas, because this can indicate like intellectual property theft. Okay, so I would just be, you know, vigilant on that. If you've got an idea, this could also be that if you're in an appraisal or a meeting with somebody over the next coming weeks and months, it could be that like your boss, for example, goes, oh, that's a really great idea. I'm going to steal that for myself and pretend I had that idea. They may try to take credit for something. So just watch out for that, okay? Now, the Seven of Swords, as I said, is often a very misunderstood energy. It can be that someone is micromanaging you at this time, and there is a real desire for more independence. But I want you to be aware of something. If you have like a boss that you work for, or someone who like you answer to in your career, or even in the work that you do, I would be a little bit mindful. If you're noticing that they're keeping a little bit more of a critical eye on you and you feel a little bit like called out in some way, if it's not their typical nature, I'm just seeing here that there is some sort of elevation or new opportunity arising, and they're just monitoring you to see if you're right for the role. They really want to back you. It's like they want to endorse you, as it were. So, even if you are someone who works in a sporting industry, it could be that your coach is being extra critical because they know that there is some sort of place coming up and it could thrust you into the spotlight. They want the best for you. Whoever this person is, it feels like they want you to reach your full potential. And they may be just a little bit harder on you over the next coming weeks and months because they see this new opportunity coming in for you. Because we've got the Judgment card. So this can indicate some of you feel judged. Now, some of you may also be going through a period of educating yourself and you have a test. So if that's coming up, of course, you're going to feel judged because you are. But I definitely see here that you'll have to wait for results, but I can see that, you do really well. I see that you are like a star pupil or someone who basically gets the qualification, certification, or whatever it is you need that is necessary in order to do whatever it is that you do, okay? So I feel this is quite exciting. Now, if you do work for like a company, this could be that you're asked to take on more responsibility in the working environment, either be like a fire warden, health and safety, first aider, and this could bring in more finances as well. But if you're an independent worker, sole trader, you work for yourself, you're creative, I feel a lot of you, it's just like you want more. You want the best for you, so you're strategizing a plan. You may be doing it off-grid with that Seven of Swords. I mean, the history of the Seven of Swords is that the figure does not want to argue, does not want conflict, just wants to do what is right and what is peaceful. Okay, so you're minding your own business, doing your own thing, and it can be that you are misunderstood in some way, or that perhaps you have a desire for more independence or have a certain way of doing something, and someone kind of calls you out and goes, well, that's not really how I would do it, or that's not how things are normally done. And you're like, well, I'm a visionary. I'm bucking a trend. I'm doing things differently right now. So I definitely see here you're going to be very productive no matter what you do. I feel like you're locked onto a vision, your goal of the future. And I feel like you're adapting or approaching to something differently. And, it's very busy. I mean, this is a very swift action card. If you are keeping your eyes peeled on someone that you feel is abusing their power or not doing something that they should be doing, document it, okay? Keep a folder or something of time, date, what happened, and you may be able to take this to HR or higher governing body. Do remember that, of course, whilst HR will try to be fair, if this is about someone who's in a position of authority, it could be that, you're going to have to wait a long time before there's any repercussions, because it's going to be a pretty big deal. Let's put it that way, okay? But ultimately, bringing the energy back to you, your protagonist energy right now is to basically have more independence, be a little bit more free. Some of you even want to be a little bit more nomadic in your working industry. Take your work on the road. So if you're booking a vacation, for example, I feel a lot of you could have, your business on your mind or your career on your mind. And this time away gives you clarity so that you know what's fair and what's right, because the Seven of Swords there can indicate that something hasn't been fair for some time, but I can feel that you've been investing so much of your time, effort, and energy into something, and you're about to have a breakthrough, because the Justice card says things shall be fair. But I feel like you're actioning something right now that puts you in a position to be seen or to be recognized, appreciated for what you're doing, and, of course, you're aligning with success, like the dream outcome as your vision for your career sector or your industry. Now, of course, if you've just come to this reading and you're like, just tell me about the money, Baba, I'm looking at the energy here, and with the Judgment energy, some of you could be keeping a tighter rein on your finances. I feel like you could get a financial strategy, a little bit more management of your finances there. Something's coming through here, and this may not resonate with all of you, but if you are purchasing a gift for someone for their birthday and you really care about this person, there's no need to overspend. This person loves you and cares about you. And of course, to give them a token of appreciation, whether it's their birth date or it's an anniversary or something, even if you're just gifting to somebody just to let them know that you care, you know, they just require your presence, your communication. So I would say that you don't have to overspend on a gift, okay? That's just something that's coming through, really random, but I had to mention it there. Now, the Lover's card does mean that a lot of you are, you know, needing to make a decision. And I feel with that Seven of Swords, you'll make a very independent decision. You may soundboard off people that you really care about, like your friends, family, but ultimately it is your decision. And I want you to know that you're making the right one. No matter the decision, you're following your heart, because the Lover's card says, lead with your heart. Of course, you've got the logic. Of course, you've got the answer within yourself. You may be investigating or researching, because I feel a lot of you, this next coming weeks is all about research. Okay, looking further afield, looking into things, getting clarity, you know, basically moving ahead on something that perhaps you've been sitting on for some time. And I feel that with the balance of head and heart and the information that you find, you make a great decision. I mean, a lot of you are tying up loose ends so you can go on a vacation, but I also feel this travel energy where I feel like you're eager to look into things that you can, I want to say for some of you, it's not about automation. It's not about like passive income either. I feel like you've got this sense of purpose. You like to be very hands-on in your industry, whatever it is that you do. But I feel there's this energy of duality. Can I do two things to earn two sets of money? So I feel a lot of you are working towards being able to do that. And one of them seems to be either automated or passive income. And I feel like you're going to launch that or structure that, get it in place to be able to do it. And yeah, I feel it's going to work out really well for you there. You won't see the full results until later on, but I do see that people are going to love whatever it is that you're doing. A lot of you could be launching something at this time. I mean, with the Ace of Cups, this can indicate, especially if you're just focused on your finances, I feel I need to pull a card regarding Pentacles because mainly you got Swords and Cups, and that means you thinking a lot, very kind of like cerebral, thinking about your plans, strategizing the next steps, maintaining, sustaining, but also focusing on your vision, your dream, and thinking about how you feel in your job or your industry right now. I mean, the star energy indicates that, you know, you are going to be a success. There's a lot of inspiration here. There's a lot of taking things to the next level here for you and signing new contracts. I mean, on a personal level, some of you may be, you know, doing some of your administrative tasks, whether they are connected to work or whether they are personal, you know, staying on top of bills, sticking to that financial strategy, having a financial savings goal. Some of you may be even moving money about there. I would say just be a bit mindful about phishing emails because you did get that Seven of Swords, which can be about, you know, untoward energy. So, for example, if you get a random email or phone call, email saying click here, and it looks like it's from a very sort of professional body or company, I would say go to source. Don't click any links, okay? If anyone calls you either, I would say, again, hang up, call the source, go right to the person, and you may find that actually it was a scammer, okay? Some of you, if you work for a company, you could also be tested regarding the firewall to see if you click any, like, you know, unsolicited emails, things like that. And, you know, if you run your own business, I feel you could be tightening your security regarding your data, however you say it, okay? I want you to be aware of that. So you could be changing passwords, or you could be prompted over the next coming weeks to change passwords. But swords are all about the mind. So I feel like you're in the planning stages for something. But let me just see about your money, Strength card, and we've got the King of Wands. Again, it's another water element. It's about you doing what you love and, you know, perhaps even becoming a little bit more financially savvy, learning more about financial structures. You know, when you get a King of Wands there, this can indicate that you're thinking in the lines of like being an entrepreneur, or you are thinking about a larger purchase, for example. It could be that you are saving right now for something in your future. You're pretty sensible most of the time regarding your finances, but then, you know, you may suddenly impromptually kind of like splash the cash a little bit, or purchase something that is something you're excited about. Now, of course, that's fine, you know, but with the Strength card there, I feel this is an energy of tempering, you know, your spending, because I am clarifying your money at this time. The Strength card indicates that you will have infinite resources. You know, whatever it is you spend, you will replenish. So I feel this month financially, for a lot of you, it's about maintaining and sustaining. However, if you run your own business, it could be that you are launching something new with that Ace of Cups, or you're in the planning stages of doing that, and that could bring in more finances long term. Or you could actually be looking at alternative jobs or roles that bring in more money, because I see you staircasing financially later on, okay? Now, we do have the Magician card. This tells me you're a very talented, very gifted person. You know, I really get this energy about focus as well. You have all the tools within yourself necessary to be a raging success in any industry. So I feel like you're manifesting opportunities. And when you have the Magician card energy, it can indicate you overcome an obstacle. So if you've been problem solving or having to make that decision regarding something, I feel like you get busy with it over the next coming weeks and months there. I mean, the Judgment card with the Magician can indicate that you are assessing really how far you've come and how far you feel you need to go moving forward. But the Magician card is an energy there of like you having the skills, the intelligence to make things happen. So if you feel like you've been having a bit of a gear shift recently, or things have not been happening, I feel like you are going to see a measure of a breakthrough here for you there as well. Now, we also have the Seven of Cups, okay? Now, the Seven of Cups is really about using your imagination. Anything's possible. But of course, it can indicate that you have a lot on your plate, a lot on your to-do list, and there's a lot of pressure there. It can indicate that you have so much to do that it's really hard to focus. But that Magician energy says prioritize what's important, the things that excite you, but also the things that will help you advance in your career sector right now. And I mean, this Seven of Cups energy is you kind of like unleashing your creativity, your visions for the future. It's about you, you know, turning doubt into the power of possibility. And I feel like this is your opportunity to dream of bigger and better opportunities. So I feel a lot of you could be like trying to extend your reach or expand on something over the next coming weeks and months. And I feel that you're going to love how far you've come. You're going to be so proud of yourself that you took the necessary steps. You made the plan and you have the vision and you're just making it happen, okay? It feels very much with the Judgment energy that you are focused on your sense of direction, but also it could be that you're completing tasks quite quickly in order to move on to the next. Be a little bit mindful with that Seven of Swords, because it can indicate when you're under pressure that if you go too quickly or you feel overwhelmed, you could miss something or there could be a mistake and you have to return to it. That's in the next 6 weeks. So just watch out for that if you're feeling a little bit like there's a lot going on, especially if you're in an industry where you're noticing like redundancies or people leaving, or this period is when most people are on a vacation. So it could be there's a bit of a lull in the industry or a skeleton type staff because everybody's away. So it could be that you feel extra stretched in some way. You're having more put on your desk or your to-do list, and it can be that it's a little bit overwhelming. But I feel prioritizing what's important. I actually see that if you are covering for someone whilst they're away, you're just going to do a great job, and it actually sets you apart. People are noticing that you are capable of more. So I feel like they want to offer you more, especially if you work in a company. If you work for yourself, I definitely see here that this is a very creative time. You're going to be sparking with lots of ideas. You know, there's going to be this energy of you staying on top of the legalities as well. So some of you could be doing receipts, tax time. You know, it could be that you are just keeping on top of things, keeping in the flow so it doesn't all build up there as well. But the Knight of Cups, this indicates you following your bliss. And if you feel like you're not doing that right now, you're looking at your options to see how you can transform it. Some of you may also think about detaching from, a partnership or a company. And I would say, just be mindful, if you've got a contract with this person or this company, so if you're looking at service providers or you're looking at the company you work for, you're giving in your notice, I feel like you're going to have to legally abide by the terms and conditions. So if you're separating from like a partnership, if you work in a partnership with someone else and you're thinking, okay, I'm off, right? I feel this person could either catch you in your next moves, or they could actually pull rank and say, hey, what about this in the contract? So just watch out for that, okay? Also, if you're trying to end some sort of service provider contract because either they're not pulling their weight, I feel you have a good case, but you must do it in the legal parameters of the contract, okay? You will resolve it eventually, but it could be some time. And if you are losing out financially because this service provider or this infrastructure that's in place is not working, you will get compensation, okay? But you must pursue it, is what I'm being given there as well. Now, the Knight of Cups, of course, is an energy of, not really focusing on the money. I hate to say that. Of course, everybody's going to focus on the money because you want stability. You are working towards something. But I feel more than anything over the next coming weeks and months there, your focus is on whether you're enjoying what you're doing and whether you feel like you are getting a fair exchange with the amount of effort and work that you're doing. So yes, a lot of you may be thinking of second streams of income, maybe even thinking about migrating overseas or being more nomadic in your industry. You may be looking further afield because looking at your energy, it's like, what else? I feel like you are trying to expand your reach or think outside the box, or even like... it's almost like build on opportunity. It's like you've got something in motion right now and you're trying to build even more. You're thinking about your legacy, as it were. And with that star energy, I definitely see here that, this is a period where you could network or be seen or in some way be appreciated in the spotlight for something that you do. If you're in an industry where you could be in the public eye, I would say that this is a period where, people see you. And it could be a contract that thrusts you into some sort of fame, or, your reputation increases in some way. If you're not in the public eye, it could be that people in positions of authority are noticing your work and they want to elevate you. There's definitely something new coming on in here. And for some of you, you've waited for this for quite some time, or you've trained for this very moment. Some of you could be in training and waiting for results, and then you're about to catapult into something that you truly love doing. The Ace of Cups is a dream job. So you're being asked right now, what is the big dream? Do you feel like you're aligned with that? Do more of what you love right now and the rest will follow. So with that star energy, of course, this indicates you being aligned in your working environment. Some of you may have felt really tested, but this is where you come to the fore. You may not like working under pressure, but I feel like, you manage it fairly well. Just make sure that you keep an eye on your health and make sure that there are healthy working practices there, especially if you're an entrepreneur or you are a creative, a sole trader, you work for yourself there. Sometimes, it's not 9 to 5, it's 24/7. So you need a break. So I feel it's very important to recognize that there as well. Okay. Now, I do feel with that star energy that some of you, if you have been working in a very toxic environment or being micromanaged in some way, I feel healing is important, okay? You will recalibrate. If you've got a problem with a person, I feel both of you will kind of let bygones be bygones just to get on with things and do the task at hand, because a lot of you are focused on your sense of responsibility and you don't want this person to be the fly in the ointment of your advancement. And the way you deal with this, I feel, is to prioritize what's important to you, okay? It's like you're not involved in any drama. You don't want to get involved in that, so you're distancing yourself from that. But you may have to pull rank or go to a governing body in order to kind of like sort something out for some of you, not all of you. The majority of you are making adjustments in the way that you work. You know, you're honoring your time, you're being more efficient. I feel you're making a lot of effort. You are productive and structured, and you're serious about hitting a target. And that Justice card indicates there's some good karma. You're working hard. There's going to be a breakthrough that helps deliver a reward there for you as well. Now, I would also say there's some important news coming in. This could be a legal letter or document that you need to pay attention to. Just be a little bit mindful with that Seven of Cups. If you live with family or friends or a roommate or, your partner, this important legal letter could get lost amongst other letters. So just be a little bit mindful about that, okay? It feels like it's hard copy mail in the energy that I'm getting through there. I mean, they'll send another one, okay? But it could be a little bit more sensitive. And what I mean by that is time sensitive. So just watch out for that, because I'm seeing that clock again. More than anything, I feel like you're focused on the time that you spend doing what you're doing right now and trying to create space for yourself, for your family, to do more things that you love, for example. And, when you get the Justice card as an outcome, this can indicate that you are on target and you're finding balance in your career. You're having the best of both worlds. A lot of you are doing two things. So it could be that, you have a job and you've also got real estate that's bringing in some passive income there. It could also be that you have another business or you're trying to launch another business. This could also be that you are structuring something legally, like a legal entity, becoming your own boss, becoming an entrepreneur in some way. And, you're getting things finalized. You're waiting for the results, and you're going to be dealing with lots of paperwork, legal matters, contracts, and signing things. But also, it can be that, you are now entering the next stage, so you can hit the ground running and move forward and either launch something or just get busy doing whatever it is that you love doing and want to spend your time and your purpose pursuing at this time. I mean, a lot of you with that Justice energy, you may be looking at contracts in general in your day-to-day working environment. So no matter what industry you work in or whether you work for yourself, whatever it is that you do, it can be that you are looking at service providers, internet service providers, cell phone. You may be looking at contracts that are rolling contracts, because the Lover's card can be a cycle energy, and it can be that you're looking elsewhere for better deals, but you must honor the legal contract that is binding with your previous service provider. So for example, some of you check your emails, because there may be something in the clause. If you purchased, for example, a computer software program that really helps you do what you do, but it's kind of getting a little bit outdated now. It feels very much like this could be a rolling contract, and they may just take the money without you even saying, yeah, I want to renew the contract. So just watch out for that. I feel it may happen, but you have to contest it. You'll get your money back. It will be resolved, but they may just take it. So just watch out for that. Also, personally, if you've trialed anything, like a free subscription to something, and you've got like a certain period, 14, 21 days to cancel. If you don't want to pay for this, make sure you cancel, because I see it rolling on and you having to contest it or highlight it and try and, get your money back, for example. I feel like you will, but it'll be a process, and you may have to keep pushing because you'll wait a long time. Okay, now, of course, we have the Judgment energy, and this is you kind of like monitoring your progress. It is a card of reaching for something more, building upon what you have already, and following through on your sense of purpose. The Judgment card can be a wake-up call. So it can be that you notice that, you don't have as much time, or you may feel that you are working so submerged in whatever it is you're doing, and you love it, that time kind of like flitters away, and suddenly you've like forgotten time, and you have to rush and go and do other things. Because a lot of you, there seems to be this energy about pace, and it can be quite busy. I feel like you are going to be productive and very busy, but you're going to feel that the rewards are worth it. Let's put it that way. Also, the Judgment card, it indicates that you understand what you need to do, so you're gathering the right information to help you either move forward on the next steps or launch something that you've been called to launch. You know, this is all about your direction, and I feel that you're doing what is right for you and for your finances. And some of you, if you have to problem solve or course correct over the next coming weeks and months, I feel there's value in the questioning. And I also see that you're going to be right on track. I feel a lot of you, there's this energy of being on target, you know, completing your tasks and getting everything done in divine timing, but also in your time so that you have more time for you. A lot of you are trying to tie up loose ends in order to have a vacation or a quick getaway, because we do have that Two of Wands there. So you may be just waiting for a break or hoping for a break there. I see that July may be quite intense. But as we move into August for you, there seems to be a little bit more of a lull with that Two of Wands. So this could be thinking time or waiting for results or making a decision, actually making the decision. You've been looking at your choices and now you're making the decision here, okay? The Two of Wands is all about your plans. You're in the planning stages of something, and whether it is putting your resume out there to find alternative opportunities, or you've been frustrated that you haven't been moving forward on something and receiving the results that you truly desire, suddenly the rewards come in because we have that Ace of Cups. Now, this could be news that you're waiting for. It could be an award, a bursary. It could be a sponsorship deal. It could be an alliance, a creative alliance. It could be, you know, someone headhunting you. It just feels like you're gaining attention in your industry and people are loving what you're doing and they want to work with you or work for you or somehow support. There's like this support network energy, especially with the Lovers card to the Ace of Cups. Now, not all of you, but some of you may actually be pregnant at this time. So this could be that you're about to go on maternity leave. So have a fabulous time on maternity leave. I see that you're getting all your plans in motion. And some of you will be weighing up your options as to when you return to work. Or some of you may actually launch some sort of business in maternity leave is what I'm seeing there. So you could connect it to something you can do from home. But some of you, whether you're pregnant or not, or on maternity leave or not, I feel like, you know, you could be thinking about endeavors to do from your home space in order to, you know, make some extra finances there. I mean, this is an opportunity coming in, and it's an opportunity that you will love. So no matter what you're doing right now, I feel that there is some sort of, you know, good news coming in. And if you are going for an interview for something, I feel like you get kind of an unconditional offer, if that makes sense. I mean, if some of you are also trying to apply for university or college or some sort of training scheme, or even like a work as you earn thing, I feel like you get an unconditional offer because you're so good at what you do. Like, you're a bright spark and you're a visionary and you take action and you have attention to detail and you're very gifted and talented. And I feel the opportunity is going to be yours because you are accomplished so far at what you do. You're just naturally gifted. And I'm also being given this energy that you're bringing your dreams to being, if that makes sense. But the universe is also supporting you on your journey with that too. Now, I am going to pull one more card just to clarify. I feel more than anything, the next coming weeks are about you planning, learning new things, trying to fall in love with your career or your job sector again, maintaining and sustaining, but also looking at your alliances. Who's got your back? Who do you not trust? Who's not pulling their weight? We've got the Queen of Swords, yeah, being very organized, very diligent, getting your tasks completed, you're strategizing, but also you're erecting healthier boundaries there, you know, healthier working practices, building and flourishing in your career, being confident, making shrewd decisions. And I feel this is you having clarity of purpose. You are setting your intentions, you're in alignment with that, and you understand what is necessary for you to take action on, and you shall hit your target. You know, you're just... That's interesting because I just heard from my guide, you're letting go of false truths. Okay, so you're seeing things as they truly are. And the Seven of Swords can be a false truth. So it can be that, for example, if you're sitting on an idea and like, I'm just going to say this, like way in the past, I was creating a project, right? Many, many years ago. And every time I met someone, you know, they say, oh, what are you up to? I hate that line, but they're like, oh, what are you up to? And I'm like, oh, I'm working on this project and, you know, I'm developing it. I'm doing all these things. And then when I went away from that conversation, I was like, I haven't worked on that project for about 7 months. You know, I'm in the middle of it, but life just got in the way. I had another job to do. I had several jobs, you know, and I couldn't get round to this one project that I really wanted to do. It was my heart's desire, but I needed to earn money. I needed to do all the stuff, you know, pay the bills, look after the family, do all the things. And every time I met someone that I knew or who asked me in a certain industry what I was up to, you know, I said, oh, I'm developing this project. And I thought, my gosh, that project has kind of like stalled, or I haven't got round to it. So I was now facing my truth. I was letting go of a false truth, which was basically me saying I'm working on this project, which I am, but I haven't worked on it for 7 months. So therefore, I had to get real with myself and say, hey, you know, you can't keep giving this answer. Even though you are developing something, you haven't worked on it for a while. So own it. So this is your truth right now. It's like you are letting go of false truths. What is it that you should be getting round to that you've not been able to do? You know, life is hard, and sometimes it's hard to get around to doing things that you really want to do for you, or launch that idea, or, you know, push forward. But I see that you're going from strength to strength, and I see whatever it is that you're either launching, revealing, or creating at this time, it is going to bring monumental success and stability. Okay, a lot of you may actually use the internet to further your reach in some way. I mean, I don't have any cards here about you being worried about your industry, but some of you may be a little bit nervous about some companies downsizing, or economically things being highly pressured right now. But I see that you are in a secure position, and if you decide to leave where you're at, it's because you've got something else lined up. So I want you to be aware of that, okay? I'm just going to go and get some final cards. Just be mindful that in this deck, there is a rogue card, okay? It's different from all the rest. It's meant to be there. Not everybody gets it. So I just want you to be aware of that. It's not just mysteriously found its way into the deck. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. So you've got a tower there, and a tower in this deck is totally different. It means you are a tower of power. You're building something really special. It says here, earning power, building a business, sound decision. So if you're making a decision, you're making the right one. Corporate job for some of you, power, and power in an unstable position. So that's why that message came through just now. But I feel this is about getting a bird's eye view or perspective on something that you're building, and you're literally headed to the top of whatever that is. We've got tree, which is financial growth, but you need that grounding, that stability. So perhaps some of you, because you have so much air and water in your reading, this is a month to really ground, you know, go back to your plans and really kind of focus on the necessary steps. But it says coming to fruition, financial growth, abundance, outdoor jobs, family business, and stability. So this can also indicate you branching out, and that's what I felt. You're extending your reach over the next coming weeks and months. We've also got anchor. There's that grounding, actually. So we got money blocks, being stuck, financially sound, water related, travel, stable for now. Okay, so if you have been feeling a little bit stuck in a rut in your industry, same old thing, just a different day, I do see you, as I mentioned earlier, broadening your perspective, kind of like approaching work in a different way, or looking at your options so that you can take things in a different direction or course correct in some way. But ultimately, I see financially you're stable and you're on top of your finances. Travel is starred for you. If you're traveling, there may be a minor delay for some of you. Let me see. I mean, you may challenge it, but there's this energy of waiting a long time for compensation if you do challenge something there. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Anything more my beautiful Taurians need to be aware of? So we have the butterfly, and we have the crown. Okay. So the butterfly is changes, but also it's like the butterfly effect, okay? What you're putting in motion right now is going to ripple into the rest of your career. So I feel like you are focused. You are transforming the way that you do business or the way that you approach things. And it says here, expect changes, new beginnings. You got that Ace of Cups. There is some sort of new beginning, whether you're launching something, whether it's a new project, whether it's a new way of working, or even new computer equipment or tools. I feel it helps you be more efficient, because a lot of your cards are about efficiency. And it says here, personal growth, flourishing in your career. Some of you, if you feel like you haven't reached your full potential, there is this breakthrough coming for you that helps you flourish and nurture an idea or nurture the path that you're on right now. And finally, we have the Crown. So this could also be a logo, my guide just said. So look out for a crown logo. So this could be relevant regarding an opportunity coming in. But it says success and victory, power and authority, material gain and ruling your world. Yeah, I feel like you're making advancements because you are fed up of waiting for something. You're a go-getter. You have a vision and you're not afraid to reach for that goal, and you're going to reach the top. You're going to be someone who is seen in all your glory, and you're going to be seen for someone who has the strength to, pursue something and not stop until it's done. Okay, so I feel like you're in motion. You're in the middle of something moving forward. I'm just going to go and get a trinket. Wow, we got a light bulb. Okay, lots of ideas. Very inspiring time. Lots of downloads, your vision of the future. It's like you're electric. So write down any ideas, very important. Especially if you work in an industry like publishing or writing. I feel, you could be really seen over the next coming weeks and months there. You could even partner up with a manager or some sort of intermediary that helps you or gives you a platform to work. But also it could be that you have a strong alliance in your working industry, or someone who comes as a supportive champion that sees your worth and sees your talent and wants to elevate you in some way. But we've got that light bulb. So I'd say next couple of weeks, you're switched on and you are literally, brimming with ideas, and you're taking those ideas, putting them in motion, and they are going to help you align with the success that you've been working so hard to achieve. Okay, so I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Taurians. Thank you so much, and love and light.